This is our business meeting, Tuesday, September 17th, 2019. It's a special day for many people many years ago, but we won't go into that. We'll begin with Pledge of Allegiance, and we will ask our city manager, Tim Tingey, to lead us in that pledge. Tim? Those who have an agenda, the first item on the agenda is some proclamations and recognitions. I'd like to turn the time over to Chief Mike Watson, who wants to introduce some individuals who we'll recognize from United Fire Authority. We're excited to do this.
Mr. Mayor, Council, thank you very much. This is special for us to do, and it's my pleasure to introduce Division Chief Jay Torgerson to you. He is the chief over our medical division. And this award to two of your officers this evening is actually a catch-up from last May. So I really appreciate Chief Torgerson's staff in that they caught this and brought it to our awareness so we can give these officers the recognition that they deserve.
Well, good evening. Thanks for having me here. I had the pleasure of working in your city for about 5 years. Not some time ago, but about 5 or so years ago, and this is beautiful. I truly miss working in your great city and also with your officers. You have a lot to be proud of here. So if I can have Officer Harris and Officer Phelps come up. Let me give you just a little bit of background. We are always glad to see your police officers when we arrive on scene for many, many reasons. There's times when we're in situations where we are not the best people to be there. We're not able to defend ourselves, and these are the folks that keep us safe, that allow us to do our job with not having to worry about keeping ourselves safe. They have our back, so it's truly great to see officers on scene. In March of 2018, the crew at Station 110, so down on Fort Union Boulevard, was dispatched about 5 o'clock in the evening to the report of what we call a full arrest. So somebody that whose heart is not beating and they're not breathing. So they go en route to this call, and the information that they receive as they're going en route is it's a 16-year-old young man. And that, for a firefighter and a paramedic, makes your blood pressure go up a little bit. We are always prepared, but when it's a child, it makes us a little more nervous. We're hoping that things go well and that we can make a difference in this person's life. One of the things that makes a huge difference in that is having people do CPR. If you start and initiate CPR within 2 minutes of somebody going down, it increases their chances of survival by double. So when the crew arrived and saw the officers' vehicles parked in front of the house, gives them a sense of security knowing that these folks have been trained and that they're probably in there doing CPR. So when they arrived, they found a young man that was electrocuted in the garage, accidentally working on a project. And the officers were in the garage assisting him performing CPR. It allowed our paramedics to get their equipment ready, to assess the situation, and to start providing care. But the 4 officers that were on scene rotated fully into what our crews were doing, which is huge. It's very, very important. To provide effective CPR, you want to swap out about every 2 minutes. And doing CPR for 2 minutes straight can be tiring. So having these folks on scene working as part of our big team was tremendous. So it's great to know that there was a good outcome with this, and this young man was transported to the hospital. They were able to get a heartbeat restored on scene, and then loaded into the ambulance and transported this young man to the hospital, where he received further care and is doing well today. So I thought about this as I was leaving my house this evening to come here, and kissed my 16-year-old son goodbye as he's leaving for soccer. You guys were a big part in a parent being able to kiss their son another time. So thank you. This is a life-saving coin. Thank you. Polly. Braden. Thank you very much. Good job.
I, yeah, let's get a photo of that. So, Mike, get in there. Yeah. Polly, Braden, I think you should come up and say just a couple words. No, we don't get to hear from our officers well enough. I'd have Dan Wojleski come, but he's back there. But Polly, come on up and tell us maybe just a little bit about your career with us. Braden, you can do it too. Just take a minute. We'd appreciate hearing from you. I think the audience would too. What, tell how long you been with?
Be a nice meeting.
How long have you been with Cottonwood Heights? And
I've been a police officer with Cottonwood Heights since they started the department, so 11 years.
11 years.
Started 5 years with the university before that, and now I'm up at the high school as the school resource officer.
That's right. All right. Thank you. Appreciate your service. That's wonderful. Braden, come on up. I know you're a newbie.
Yeah, I've been with Cottonwood Heights. It's coming up on 3 years now. So, I
You enjoying it?
I love it.
All right.
Wouldn't change it for the world.
But thank you to both of you. We appreciate your service and especially the action on this night that is being recognized. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate both of you. All right. Do we have anybody here from Brighton High School? We're gonna hold off on this next recognition. I know that we're verifying their attendance. Each year for the last 3 years, I know, we've recognized the Baha'i community of Cottonwood Heights and of the Valley. I've become acquainted with this group for the last, at least last 3 years, I think, and really impressed with the service they give. I know they've met with our police department, provided service to our officers. They've provided service to our public safety firefighters and many other areas of our city. And Nellie, why don't you come up and just introduce your group and a little bit about your organization real quickly. Yeah.
Thanks for the opportunity today. We really appreciate that. I just wanted to quickly, for some of the friends in the room, might be a new term as a Baha'i faith and what we're celebrating this year. I just wanted to quickly introduce some of the friends that we form as Baha'is in a locality. Anytime that there are anybody from the age 21 and above, they get to be elected to part of local spiritual assemblies. And I have a pleasure to serving as a correspondence secretary. We have officers in our local spiritual assemblies, and I've been serving as a correspondence secretary for the last 3 years. So I had a pleasure to work with Mike. Every time we need guidance from him, anytime we need help, we normally go to him and figuring out. We strongly believe in having the prayer and service. They go hand to hand. So we offer virtue classes in the Cottonwood Heights community that I have a pleasure to teach these virtue classes again for the past 3 years. And we're teaching them from the very young age and how to be a service to humanity. So we have anything from age 5 to 11 that attending these classes. So we pray together, we play games together, we learn about virtues and how to be a good human being. And we also have some junior youth programs that we offer that these junior youth age of 11 to 15, they study together, they do a lot of service projects together, and that's how they learn how to, again, kind of reinforce that, how to be a service to humanity. what we're really celebrating, you might want to know. We're celebrating the bicentenary of the birth of the Bab. The Bab in Arabic means gate, so he came for the promising of the founder of the Baha'i faith, Baha'u'llah, which means glory of God, that we did that celebration 2 years ago when we came here. So we're doing this bicentenaries again in 2 years. He was at the age of 25 when he declared his mission. It was very short, after 9 years, so at the age of 32 years old. So his ministry was only lasted for about 9 years. He was born in Iran, a southern part of Iran in Shiraz, and that's what we are celebrating this year. So thank you again for
All
the
right.
opportunity.
Thank you very much. Let me read this proclamation for the audience now, then I'll present it to you following. It says, whereas the Baha'i community of the city of Cottonwood Heights, Utah, was established in 2008, and whereas the Baha'i community promotes unity, peace, and justice, and whereas October 22nd, 2019 marks 202nd anniversary of the birth of the Baha'i faith founder, Baha'u'llah, who brought a message of human dignity and oneness, and whereas since 2008 the city Baha'i community has striven to apply their faith's vision to the material and spiritual life of Cottonwood Heights, collaborating with others to promote unity and to serve their fellow citizens, whereas the Baha'i of Cottonwood Heights and their families, friends, neighbors, and colleagues are commemorating the 202nd anniversary along with the Baha'is across the United States and around the world. Now let it be proclaimed that the mayor, council, and manager of Cottonwood Heights do hereby declare Tuesday, October 22nd, 2019 as Baha'i Community Day in the city. Recognize the anniversary of the birth of Baha'u'llah. Did I say that right?
It is right.
Not close enough. And urging all to resolve on this day to promote in themselves and their relations with others those qualities and attributes that will help bring about the recognition of the oneness of humanity, to embrace diversity, and to work for unity in our local community, in our country, and in the world. So let me again emphasize that I've been very impressed for the last 3 years that I've been to at least 4 or 5 of their meetings. I've watched their service. These people don't just speak the talk, they're people of action, and we applaud your efforts. So let me give this to you. Thank you. All right. Before we do citizen comments, I'd like to recognize a special guest in the audience. That's we have Councilmember Granado from Salt Lake County. So raise your hand and say hi to her. She's our county representative. So if you want to catch her ear before she leaves, I'm sure she'd love to talk to you. But and we appreciate you. I mean, you've been a regular periodically, and that's much appreciated to visit our city. So thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll now move to citizen comments. Let's first.
Mayor,
Yeah,
will you
go ahead.
just note that the Beautification Awards is being...
Oh, yes, I didn't know. Okay, yeah. On your agenda, it's got Beautification Awards. We're recognizing some residents for their care and landscaping of their homes, both commercial and residential. We had a couple of the awards were not finalized, so we'll be moving that to our next meeting. So Lynn Krause, you want to come on up, Lynn?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Thanks for your time and for your service. I'm going to try not to ramble, but I ran out of time, so my thoughts aren't quite organized, but hopefully you'll get the message. I would like to recommend that you listen to the Planning Commission meeting from last week regarding the 2 condo developments on Fort Union. I'm just going to paraphrase some of the things I heard. Number 1, we incorporated to have control over land use in our city. That was a biggie. We incorporated for that reason. We want new neighbors. And again, this is not me, this is what I heard. We want new neighbors, but why can't we have sensible development? Why does it always have to be 3 stories instead of 2, or 4 stories instead of 3, or 35 units per acre instead of 25? Or why does it have to be 5 feet setback instead of the original 20? Why does every square inch have to be developed? The safety of my children walking to school. As a matter of fact, one mother mentioned that her child was hit in that neighborhood by a car. Apparently the roads are actually I know one of the roads is quite narrow because I drive on it frequently. Developers say they've done this in other cities, but we don't want to be Salt Lake City and we don't want to be Sugar House. We want to be Cottonwood Heights. So my point is these resonated with me so much because these are some of the same things some of us regulars have been saying for 15 years. And I thought, oh, and a lot of these people had never even been to a planning commission meeting. So I was like, right on, good, new voices. So it's not just the usual suspects saying things, it's new people that are saying the same thing. I guess my point is I feel like we've missed the mark. The city has missed the mark, particularly with the Fort Union master plan. I feel like it got pushed through, and now it's being used as justification by the developers to increase height, increase density, reduce setbacks, and it doesn't matter what the citizens say about our health, safety, and well-being, whether it's the air we breathe, the amount of traffic, the safety of our children going to school, the Planning Commission, the council always seems to approve these variances, and so that's a big concern to me. That's really all I had to say about that. I did want to call out, a resident called out Andy Hulka specifically. I guess he worked with him on his property in Giverny and said he just did a fabulous job, so I'm just pointing that out in case you didn't listen to it. Anyway, that's all I have. Thanks.
Right. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate those comments. Tim Halbeck?
So the big piece of feedback that I got from the last 4 or 3 agendas that I'd sent out ahead of time was that people didn't have enough time to review things. And this time it was even worse because I didn't see the agenda until Monday morning or Monday afternoon. And I wasn't going to send that out as a survey between Monday and Tuesday because I would catch all the flag for, why did you wait so long? So that's why there was no survey that I'm sure all of you fill out every week when I send those out. So I'm wondering, is there a way we can, in the same way the action items for this meeting are outlined, can we outline those items ahead of time, say the same week that you start discussing them during the business meetings? Can we start highlighting those as this is what's coming down and is going to be eventually voted on? Because right now we have sometime between Thursday and Monday when we can see the agenda to see the things that are being voted on, but we don't have all the months or weeks that you guys have ahead of time to think about them and do our own research and that kind of thing. So I'm just wondering if there's a way that the items that, for example, there's 8 or 9 items being voted on tonight. Is there a way that we could have visibility into those further ahead of time? And if it's already out there, I'm just not seeing it. But many people are telling me 3 days or 4 days is not enough. I want to know about it when you guys know about it. So that was it. I wanted to clarify, I had put a post that said I didn't get the thing for the marathon in the mail until Saturday afternoon after I sat in the traffic, but I knew it was there. It's very possible that it was there Friday. I checked my mail Friday, but I could have checked it before the mail delivery came on. It was supposed to go out a couple of weeks ago from what I understand, at least 2 weeks ahead of time. For whatever reason, our lane didn't get it until the last moment, and one other lane that someone said the same thing happened to him. So I guess the communication was pretty good, but a couple places got missed. I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, action items. If we can have discussion items as well so that we all can look at them beforehand, that would be really handy. Thanks.
Thank you, Tim.
If I may make one comment, Tim, one way that, generally speaking, for people who would like to know things that are coming up is to look through the work session agendas more than the voting. By the time they usually get on the agenda to being approved and stuff, a lot of the discussion has already happened, and the best time to get input in is actually usually before that. So if you can divine a way to get some of that information off of those types of agendas and ask questions, then that's I would say that might be more productive, because sometimes it is hard to, especially if you don't know much about anything, to make a decision in 24 hours.
All right, thank you, Councilman Bracken. Rex Leatham?
Mayor, Council, thank you for giving me 3 minutes. I'll try and get through it quickly. My name is Rex Leatham. I live on Scottish Drive. You probably remember I was in here talking about a flood at my home on August 8th. That flood was caused by the storm system's inability to handle the water. The water built up in the street, created a lake, came into my yard, broke some windows, and filled my basement with 33,000 gallons worth of water. So today what I want to do is just give you an update on my experience with the insurance company that Cottonwood Heights uses, Travelers Insurance, also known as Constitution State Services. I've been working with them since Monday the 12th, when I filed my claim, to provide them with as much information as I possibly could regarding my flood, research that I've done, and information that I've gotten. The insurance company has periodically talked with me off and on. I think I told you last time they changed agents on me, and we had a big problem with that. But my biggest issue is that Travelers will not talk to any of the residents that live on Scottish Drive that have been there for 20 and 25 years, that have seen the flooding in that road, how it pools up, and they've had to drive through it. They've reported it to the city, nothing has happened, and this has gone on literally for 20, 25 years. Now, I know we've only been incorporated for 15, so we can only go back that far, but it has been reported since then. Travelers denied my claim on Saturday, the 7th of this month at 10 a.m. They called me to say my claim had been denied. And however, they were happy to offer me a $7,000 courtesy payment if I would relieve the city of any liability. Now, my claim is currently at $91,000, okay? A $91,000 claim, they're asking me to settle for $7,000. That's not fair, and it's not right. So I guess what I'm asking is that if you have any sway with the insurance company, and I know you do because I know Mr. Tingey meets with them on a regular basis, I would like you to ask yourself if that's a fair situation, especially given that the news that came out that Cottonwood Heights doesn't know if the storm system is up to code. They don't have the records. Lots of things going on. My time's up. Thank
Rex, I know that's a tragic experience. I know if tragic's the right word, but to have your basement flooded like that. But again, as a municipality, we go through Utah Local Government Trust. They provide our insurance. We need to, at this point, legally allow them to complete their due diligence, which I guess we're still in that process. I don't know, Tim, if you want to add anything to that. I don't think it's still being handled by them, and we've not received final resolution yet.
That's correct. I talked with them today as well.
Yeah. So we really can't comment further than that at this time.
Right.
Yeah.
I talked to them today also, and I asked if they were going to talk to any of my eyewitnesses, any of the people that live on Scottish Drive, and they said that is not pertinent information to my claim. And it is very pertinent information to my claim because it proves this is not a one-time weather event, that it's been going on for 20 years, and it's only fair that they talk to the people on Scottish Drive that know what the true and accurate history is of that water situation there. Yeah. That's all I'm asking for, is a fair investigation, not a one-sided. So thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, Rex. All right, do we have any other citizens that would like to, yeah, come on up. Now, you've been away too long.
We have. Mayor and council, it's good to see you again. My name is Gary McGee. We live at 3502 East Big Rock Lane, next to the wonderful Gaverny project. And I side with Lynn on many of her comments. We're living that situation right now. That's not why I'm here. We've had concern over Wasatch Boulevard for the last many months, and I see it's on an agenda here for striping. Peck's going to restripe some roads.
Not Wasatch Boulevard. That's a state road.
No, it's not.
Well, it is up until the IT.
Well, you go to the high T and then you go beyond
Right,
that.
you're right, you're right.
That's a
This
Cottonwood
section
Heights.
is not.
Yeah, you're right, you're
That's a
right.
Cottonwood Heights Road.
Yep.
I believe the developers were responsible for the asphalt work and the paving and the striping up until, I don't know if the city has signed off on a bond yet, or if they've made all of their improvements to your satisfaction. They still haven't completed things to our satisfaction, but anyway, all of the striping that they did have pretty much worn away, and you can't even see the lanes anymore. There's a lot of traffic up there, and without the stripes, people essentially will drive close to the side of the edge of the road and not pay attention to the stripes and where they should be going. The left turn lane, turning into Gaverny, they're all just remnants of what the line used to be. So we're hoping that can take place and hopefully be one of the first streets that does get paved. Pretty much out of safety and concern for not only us getting out of our driveway, but for everybody else driving through there. So I see that it's on your agenda to approve, but I'm hoping that Wasatch Boulevard is realized as a Cottonwood Heights road.
Yeah, I understood. I was looking at all of Wasatch Boulevard. I understand right when you get past the high T. So,
Yep.
Matt, is that part of your striping plan?
Yes, sir. It's on the plan.
What's this, do we have a time frame scope for the?
They're required to be done in 45 days from the time we start the contract.
And is that this fall?
Yeah, we'll start here this week.
If they do it on a
Wow.
dry day, it'll last longer.
Is it the entire city?
Well, we should be doing it twice a year, as we talked earlier tonight, but, yeah. So,
Paint seems to
So
wear
are
off
the
really
developers through with their responsibility on Wasatch Boulevard? And so now you guys are doing the striping?
I know we had the shoulder issue and the bike lane issues and, let's.
I don't know the answer to that for
We'll,
sure.
we'll respond back to you. We shouldn't be doing them over the pulpit so much, but, or the dais so much, but, we'll get back with you on the status, but the striping is coming, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for prompting me, ask the question when the striping is actually posted.
All right, anyone else who hasn't filled out a comment card who would like to speak? All right, thank you. We'll move on to our action items that we have on the agenda, and you can follow along. We've reviewed these actions in the business meeting before, so we won't spend a lot of time discussing here. The first item is consideration for resolution 2019-52. It's approving a grant agreement with the state of Utah for the 2019 Arts and Museum Division grant. It's a $4,500 grant that's for our Arts Council. So I'm ready for a motion if somebody'd like to make it.
I move that we approve Resolution 2019-52.
It's been moved by Councilman Shelton. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Councilmember Bruce. Any further discussion? Here now I'll call for the vote. Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Bracken.
Yes.
Councilmember Bruce.
Yes.
Councilmember Michael.
Yes.
And I will vote yes. The next item is 4.2. It's consideration of resolution 2019-53, accepting a bid and approving a construction contract with Kilgore Contracting for the 30th East Overlay Project. This is a contract for about $223,000. You know, if you come off 6200 South, I-215, it's the 30th East. It's a road that's owned half by east and west, but down the middle by Holiday and by the city Cottonwood Heights. Holiday owning the east side, us owning the west side. So it's a joint project in that area. Any further discussion on this contract?
I guess I just have one. And maybe Matt knows the answer. Is Kilgore the same company that did the 3500 East overlay by Smith's? Is that different?
I believe that was Staker who did this overlay here on Bengal.
Okay. What's sort of what's the period of warranty that we have with with overlays? Is it a year that it needs to maintain?
Well, you have a 1-year warranty on projects, yes.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, any further discussion?
I would just say, as a representative of District 3, we're very excited for this overlay.
This one's long overdue.
As a former representative of District 3, I'm glad to see it done as well because of calls we've had for years. So we appreciate Holiday's collaboration with us on this and covering their share.
I know some of the District 2 people use it. In District
We only allow certain.
The District 1 people are all just way down there.
All right.
It needs to be done.
Entertain a motion for approval.
Move to approve Resolution 2019-53.
It's been moved by Councilmember Bracken.
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Bruce. Any further questions, comments? Call for the vote. Councilmember Michael.
Yes.
Councilmember Bruce.
Yes.
Councilmember Bracken.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
And I will vote yes. Item 4.3 is Resolution 2019-54. It's a bid and approval of a construction contract with M&M Asphalt Services for the 2019 asphalt crack seal project. This is for $140,000. This is we have a citywide plan of road maintenance, and this is for certain roads in our city to provide the crack seal in preparation for the overlay, not overlay, but
Surface treatments.
surface treatment the following year, yeah. Any questions on this resolution? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion, please.
I move that we approve Resolution 2019-54.
It's been moved by Councilmember Bruce. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Shelton. Any further questions, comments? Hearing none, I will call for the vote. Councilmember Bracken.
Yes.
Councilmember Bruce.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Michael.
Yes.
And I will vote yes. Next item is 4.4, consideration of Resolution 2019-55, accepting a bid and approving construction contract with PEC Striping for citywide striping, as Mr. McGee referred to. So we've discussed that a little bit. It's $109,000 of striping throughout our city. Any questions or comments on this striping contract? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion for approval.
Approve Resolution 2019-55.
It's been moved by Councilmember Bracken. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Michael. Any further discussion, comments? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Bracken.
Yes.
Councilmember Bruce.
Yes.
Councilmember Michael.
Yes.
And I will vote yes. Next item is 4.5. It's Resolution 2019-56. It's a bid approving a construction contract with DRD Paving for Mountain Estates Sump Project. That's for $39,000. It's for stormwater remediation that comes off a street that has been dumping into Memorial Estates that is now being developed. Any discussions or questions regarding this resolution? Hearing none, I'd consider a move to adoption.
Move that we approve Resolution 2019-56.
Been moved by Councilmember Shelton. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Michael. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'd call for the vote. Councilmember Bracken.
Yes.
Councilmember Bruce.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
Councilmember Michael.
Yes.
And I will vote yes. Item 4.6 is Resolution 2019-57, approving appointments to the city's Historic Committee. Mr. Paul, is it Benner? Benner, and reappointment of Mr. Jim Kitches, who will be the mayor or the chair pro tem of the Historic Committee.
Mayor, may I comment on this?
Please.
Paul Benner is actually in the audience here. We appreciate him being here. I had the opportunity to interview him, review his application. We submitted the information in your packet. We're excited to have him on board. Appreciate his willingness to serve. He has a passion for this committee, and we look forward to having him being part of it.
Paul, raise your hand. Thank you and welcome. I know myself, I spent 6 years being a liaison to that committee, so you're going to have a real joy working with a progressive group. And Councilmember Bruce now has that opportunity now. So welcome and appreciate your willingness to serve. All right. With that being said, Resolution 2019-57, entertain a motion to approve.
I move that we approve Resolution 2019-57.
It's been moved by Councilmember Bruce. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Bracken. Any further discussion? Yeah, I'll call for the vote. Councilmember Michael.
Yes.
Councilmember Bruce.
Yes.
Councilmember Bracken.
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton.
Yes.
And I will vote yes.
That committee's done some amazing things now that you're in officially forewarned.
The next item, 4.7, we only have two more now. Resolution 2019-58, reappointments to our city's Parks, Trails, and Open Space Committee. Mike Johnson, do you want to refer to who's being reappointed and why it's only been a year since we created the committee, and you can explain why we're reappointing.
Yeah, I'll be brief. The 4 committee members up for reappointment are Melissa Fields, who's the chair of the committee, Matthew Dominesi, Ronna Cohen, and Aaron Davis. They represent districts 1, 2, and 4, actually, so good representation across the city there. When the committee was originally created, the ordinance allows for or permits for 3-year terms. Our committee is only a year old, but the terms were staggered initially, so there's never major turnover in any one given year. So they have not served full terms. They've been great committee members, and we fully support their renewal and continuation as committee members.
Thank you. Any comments or questions on those reappointments? It's an exciting and progressive committee as well. Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2019-58.
I move that we approve Resolution 2019-58.
It's been moved by Councilmember Michael. A second, please.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Bruce. Any further questions, comments? Hearing none, I'd call for the vote. Councilmember Shelton?
Yes.
Councilmember Bracken?
Yes.
Councilmember Bruce?
Yes.
Councilmember Michael?
Yes.
And I will vote yes. Okay, our final resolution is 2019-59, approving into a consulting agreement with TO Engineers Incorporated for a stormwater master plan update. Matt, you just want to, in 30 seconds, tell us what that is so that I don't misstate anything.
Okay. The master plan is a document that we use when it comes to planning projects for anything. We master plan transportation, we master plan Most other places will master plan water, sewer, and things of that nature. Stormwater happens to be a utility that gets master planned, and part of this is investigating our system as it now stands and looking for places where there's been some old pipes, deterioration of those pipes, looking at various locations now that we've had some new development and seeing how they interact with the basins. The basin is really what it describes, just a bowl where the water goes to. This plan also gives us a map for you as a council to budget during the budget processes, and also a chance for us to review our fees that we charge in an impact fee as well as a user fee for the stormwater system. Typically, you try to update these as, depending on how fast you're growing and your growth, you try to do these every 5 to 8 years. We are at that point. We need to update this plan based on our growth.
This is something that we talked about in our last budget process.
Correct.
And set the money aside, so it's.
As a council, you budgeted this money, during the
So it was a
process quite a while
scheduled
back.
activity from
Correct.
several months ago. All right, thank you. Any further discussion?
From impact fees, correct?
Say again, I'm sorry.
This has been from impact fees collected.
Yes, the money's being used from collected impact fees, so, correct.
That development.
All right, thank you. Any further comments, questions regarding Resolution 59? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion for approval.
We approved 2019.
It's been moved by Councilmember Bracken,
Second.
second by Councilmember Shelton. Any further questions, comments? Hearing none, I call for the vote. Councilmember Bracken,
Yes.
Councilmember Bruce,
Yes.
Councilmember Shelton,
Yes.
Councilmember Michael,
Yes.
and I will vote yes. All right, that's the last action item I have. We do have one consent calendar item that needs action, and that's approval of City Council meeting minutes of August 6th, August 27th, and September 3rd. If I could have a motion for that.
I move that we approve the consent calendar.
It's been moved by Councilor Bruce. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Michael. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's unanimous. Thank you. Motion to adjourn and reconvene in our business meeting.
We adjourn the business session and go back to our work session.
Okay, it's been moved. Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We're adjourned.